Coach, would you start with what was the practice schedule? You started up last Friday?
Yeah, we started up last Friday. We wanted to give the student athletes 4 days off for writing essay papers and stuff like that. So they basically got Monday through Thursday off. And then Friday we had our first practice. We practiced Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We split those practices. Half of them was for the 2015 football team. The other half of the practices were for the 2014 football team working on BGSU. And today we gave them the entire day off for finals. They have to move their Thursday and their Friday finals to the upper part of the week, so we had to give them a day where the professors could have all day to schedule that, because they may have to proctor those exams. And then we'll get back on the field and we'll go pads on Tuesday, we'll go shorts on Wednesday, we'll go pads down there in Montgomery, and then we'll go shorts again on Friday, and then we'll play the game on Saturday.
The Wednesday practice, is it here or there?
Wednesday practice will be here in the AM. And then we'll have 2 practices down there on Thursday and Friday.
You like playing so early in the bowl season?
I really do. I really do. In the bowl season, you either want to have it before Christmas or you want to have it after Christmas. You don't want to have it, I mean January 1st. You don't want to be caught up on, to me, Christmas Day and all that kind of stuff takes away a little bit from the family. So you can get your bowl and have your family time too. It doesn't bother me a bit.
You're a college student now.
Oh, okay. Don't let that do that. Oh, take that off.
How much
Well, I have to start over now.
I appreciate you telling me that, though.
Well, I've been on TV with crooked stuff, and I'm like, hello, come on. How much are you going to enjoy the bowl experience?
You know, this is my first bowl as a head football coach. I've been in 2 FCS playoff runs. I've been in numerous bowls as an assistant. I think that bowls are something that should be enjoyed. And I really do enjoy the bowl process. I know that we're all excited about the 4 playoff championship game for one, champion, but the bowl process has been wonderful to college football. It's something that I always aspired to do when I was an athlete back in the late 70s, and I think it's still one of the best things going for collegiate athletes.
What's how the feel around the team? Coleman said that there's a little bit of frustration within the guys, just how the season kind of came to an end the last few weeks.
You know, we're all super competitive, the players, the coaches, and we haven't won enough to be happy, and it'd be really great once again to try to end this season with a win. That'd be fantastic.
Coach, going in with one quarterback in mind, and we've had injuries and deal with everything, even though there is some frustration, are you proud, though, the way this team has found a way to get to a bowl game, like you said, it is your first?
It really has been an amazing year. I talked about writing the story in the last chapters coming up. I went back through the season. One of the things I did during these 4 days is go back through the season, and it really is amazing how many guys have been in and out of the lineup, in and out of the lineup. I was talking to Scott the other day, and he was telling me that if Andre Gibbons, I said that right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm blanking. My mind's. If Andre gets like 46 yards, it'll be the first time in BGSU history that they had 3 backs over 500 yards in the same season. And that statistic alone tells you about how many tailbacks we rolled through, and that's not even the start at the other positions with quarterbacks and linebackers and D linemen and the Zach Colvin story and all the different stories, man, all the different stories that have gone on this year. I am proud of it. Did it end up the way that I wanted it to end up? Am I completely happy with the season? No, but I'm a coach. I'm never going to be satisfied. But I really think I'm proud of the way those guys have battled through all this adversity. Now it'd be really nice to make sure we ended on a good note.
Holman said it was a successful season, quite a few qualifiers in there, but would you say the same thing or no?
You know, we're East champs. We're back-to-back East champs. It hasn't been done since 2003, 2004 in this conference. We were MAC champs last year. We played in that championship game for a second time. I'm not sure what the record is for teams outside of Northern Illinois showing up in the MAC championship game back-to-back. That's big. That's big. There's been some major big accomplishments. It's just been such a rocky road, so to speak. So many ups and downs that it kind of takes a little bit away from it. But if you just look at the meat of it, if you just look at the base of the story, it really has been a nice season.
Knappe all the way in the bowl game, getting the
We're
nod?
going to play both quarterbacks. The football team knows that. I think I've been on air saying that the young freshman gave up his redshirt year for us, and he deserves to get some opportunities in there. We'll play both of them in the game.
Will you start Knappe though?
Oh, James is going to start, yes.
Okay. And will you have it set up so that it's specific series, or how will you split the time?
Hadn't decided that. Practice has something to do with that. It's not intramurals now. So you need to practice good, but I have promised him, I said, get your mom, get your dad, come to the game you're going to be in. But a lot of that stuff, how we're going to do it, depends on how the practice finishes up this week.
Coach, speaking of quarters, with the news that came out today, how do you make sure that doesn't become a distraction for the bowl game?
You know, basically, Burbs has communicated with me. The other guys communicated with me. They said it was just a prank. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. You know, boys gone wild. You know what I mean? 18 to 22. Is it funny to grown-ups? It's not funny to grown-ups. It's not funny to me, but I understand. You know, if everything we did, you and I, from 18 to 22 was on YouTube, we may not be where we are right now.
And following up on that, has any kind of a consequence or punishment for Matt been determined at this point?
That is all in-house stuff.
Will he travel to the bowl game?
That is all in-house stuff.
We'll find out a little bit later then. Okay.
Anything out of house?
No, sir.
Going back to the practices, you mentioned that you had split the team over the weekend, and some of it was for the 2015 team. Could you kind of explain that a little further? I mean, what do you mean when you say that?
Well, we scrimmaged a little bit over the weekend. Now, we can't scrimmage the 2014 team because we still have to play with them one more game. But we scrimmaged 3 very small scrimmages for the 2015 season, and then we'll have a very big scrimmage Tuesday for the 2015 season, and then we'll have another scrimmage up there for the 2015 season.
What kinds of things are you looking to do with those practices?
Build our depth, get a great evaluation of our 2s, our 3s, and our 4s, make sure that we're exactly right what we're going after in the recruiting process, to make sure we have a more balanced offense, defense, special teams for the 2015 season.
Do you also take into effect potential position changes for next year? I mean, is that part of the evaluation?
Absolutely, absolutely. Most football coaches, you have enough players to win. You got to make sure they're in the right spots. And I really try to take pride on making sure that I don't have a player that can help me win a football game standing next to me. If he can help me win a football game, he needs to be out on the football field. So changing positions along with the young man's permission, okay, because I won't change a position unless the young man is all in. But along with his permission, I think that's very big at this stage of the game.
Having watched those, you've seen 3 so far. Do you have an initial reaction, something that's kind of caught your eye there?
No, not really. The one tomorrow will be good. That'll be a good one.
And you said there's one Friday also?
One Thursday.
Thursday, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, you've had some time to break down some film now for the game, the bowl game. Is there anything in particular that you really need to focus on in order to be successful in this bowl?
I think it's the basic things. When you watch South Alabama, they're well coached. Coach Jones does a nice job with them. They're very fast. They're very fast at all positions, and they're physical. You see them coming up and striking people, a lot of them the old-fashioned way, I like to say. So there's a couple of hits where they can show up on ESPN in that top 10 thing. But I think for us, the keys to victory are always turnovers. Trying not to make a big mistake in the kicking game, and trying to create a big momentum change in the kicking game, and then obviously stopping the run and trying to find a way to run the football, which is going to be difficult against them because they like to play a lot of man-to-man and load the box up and keep one guy heavier in the box than what you're allowed to block.
I think Gabe talked about working on defense, improving tackling, back to the basics, et cetera. You think that's a big part of whether you're going to be successful this weekend, is what you guys do?
I do, and Gabe is right. A lot of times in bowl games, you see these scores go up because the young men have a break from tackling. And one thing I didn't want to do is I didn't want to hurt our football team in that manner. So we've actually done a lot of tackling. Hopefully it'll pay off. I can't look in a crystal ball and say that we're going to be picture perfect on every tackle during the game, but we're doing everything in our power for the gap, so to speak, between our last championship game and this game, that we don't have a lot of tackling mistakes.
Coach, when I was in Mississippi, Brendan Bridge was at Alcorn State, and they played Mississippi State. I saw him just take off for like 85 yards for a touchdown. They played Mississippi State this year. He's accounted for, I think, like 17 or 18 touchdowns, and a quarterback, a big quarterback, and run. What kind of problems can he present for you guys?
All kinds of problems. He's a young man that's big enough and fast enough, strong enough to run over guys, fast enough to run away from people, and he's got the ball in his hand all the time. I mean, a running quarterback, that's dangerous, that's hard. And we're going to have to really, really be good and sound in the way we go about trying to keep him minimized so that we can have opportunities to get those guys off the football field and put our offense back on.
Do you try to create more pressure? Like, is he a kind of guy that if he sits in the pocket, like, without giving away too many secrets, I mean, what can you kind of tell us? What kind of environment do you have to kind of create for him?
I think you need to keep the box a little heavy. You got to make sure there's not a lot of running lanes for him to take off on, because if he does that, he could really hurt you.
Are you preparing for a road game type scenario here?
Absolutely. You know, earlier when we said we were going down to Montgomery and South Alabama was so close, you know, there's two types of bowl games. There's the bowl games where you go and no one has any fans there and the stands are empty and, you know, ESPN doesn't show the stands, and there's a kind where the stands are all filled up. And as a coach, I may not want the latter, but as a player, and maybe the last time you ever put on shoulder pads and a helmet, I mean, what better atmosphere than to play in front of a full house? And hopefully, maybe it'll be like that Rocky episode that as the game goes along, maybe we can get those people to start cheering for us and stop cheering for them so much. That was the best Rocky one, by the way, the Russian one. That was the best.
Turner.
Anything else, guys?